Thank you for coming back to our channel, the fastest and most detailed update of shocking details, terrifying twists and darkest plots from the movie Beyond the Gates. Let's uncover the truth behind one of the most shocking recent shocks when Chelsea almost lost her life in a horrific accident that was meticulously arranged by enemies disguised as friends. And from there, a series of dirty secrets, intrigue, betrayal and greed were exposed to the public. That day, the seemingly peaceful atmosphere of the city was suddenly broken by the sound of ambulance sirens, panicked screams and chaotic scenes at the scene of the accident. Chelsea, the woman hailed as a new symbol of young entrepreneurs, had just left home to attend an important event in her career. It was the launch ceremony of the landmark project that she had worked hard to build for many years, where she was about to announce the achievement that made the media and her competitors take their hats off in admiration. But no one expected that the journey would turn into a nightmare that almost took her life. The car that Chelsea was driving sped down the familiar highway. But when approaching the sharp turn, she suddenly discovered that the brake pedal was completely ineffective. Panic surged, she tried to control the steering wheel, tried every way to reduce the speed, but all were in vain. In a split second, the car lost control, shot like an arrow and crashed hard into the roadside barrier. The violent impact caused the car to flip over many times, the glass shattered. The body of the car deformed, smoke and debris scattered everywhere. Chelsea was stuck in a pile of twisted metal, blood flowing from the wound on her head. Her arms and body were severely bruised and scratched. The sound of an ambulance siren, the footsteps of people rushing to help, all echoed chaotically in the space filled with the smell of smoke, dust and blood. Chelsea was taken to the emergency room in critical condition. The entire media immediately focused their attention on the incident. The image of the deformed car and the information that Chelsea almost lost her life became the focus of every newspaper. Social networks were flooded with shares, grief, suspicion and even hypotheses about the real cause behind this terrible accident. However, while everyone was still confused and did not understand what happened, the authorities quietly stepped in. From the first moments of approaching the scene, the police noticed unusual signs. The crashed car had no traces of skidding or long scratches on the road surface, which was completely unreasonable for a normal loss of control. The technical team quickly examined the vehicle. Every detail was meticulously examined. After only a few hours of analysis, the horrifying truth was discovered: the entire braking system had been cut off with a specialized tool. This was clearly not an accident but a carefully calculated murder plot. The police immediately expanded the investigation, reviewing all of Chelsea's personal and work relationships. From competitors, people who had conflicts to close friends. The collected data showed a series of suspicious points. The most prominent being Madison, a longtime colleague who had worked side by side with Chelsea on many big projects, but was also the one who secretly nurtured jealousy and resentment when Chelsea continuously overshadowed him. Madison always appears calm and friendly, but deep inside, there is a burning jealousy when witnessing Chelsea step by step reaching the pinnacle of fame. In the eyes of everyone, Chelsea is a successful model, while Madison is just a pale shadow that no one cares about. The investigation gradually reveals the truth. Madison is not alone but has the help of Joey, Chelsea's ex-lover. After a bitter breakup, Joey is immersed in failure, hatred, and inferiority. Grasping that weakness, Madison approaches him, uses fake sweet words to manipulate his psychology, rekindles old wounds, fanning the flames of hatred to turn Joey into the perfect pawn in the plan to kill Chelsea. Madison calculates everything extremely meticulously. She knows that as soon as Chelsea is eliminated from the game, her opponent's reputation will collapse, and the position that Chelsea is holding will quickly become hers. Under Madison's direction, Joey sneaked into the parking lot, took advantage of the security guard's negligence to break in and completely cut off the brake system of the car that Chelsea would use. After finishing, he quickly left, carrying with him a chaotic mind of hatred, guilt and ignorance manipulated by Madison. Madison stood behind and watched every step, satisfied with the prospect that Chelsea would pay with her life, while she would leisurely step up to the pinnacle of power that she had longed for. But that perfect plan did not go as planned. Although Chelsea was seriously injured, she did not die, and the incident was quickly investigated and clarified. The police followed the traces from security cameras, witnesses at the scene, and shady connections around Chelsea. It did not take long for the authorities to narrow down the suspects, focusing on Joey. At first, Joey tried to deny the crime. Appearing confused, but faced with undeniable evidence and pressure from the investigator, he completely collapsed, confessed to all the crimes, and exposed the person behind it as Madison. Madison was arrested right in the office under the astonished and terrified eyes of her colleagues and the media. Her face remained calm, but her eyes were full of coldness and calculation. The evidence was fully collected, from messages, recordings to documents, clearly showing Madison's methodical arrangement. From approaching and manipulating Joey to the most sophisticated plan to murder Chelsea. She faced a series of serious charges, facing heavy penalties before the law. Joey, although playing the role of an accomplice, was given leniency thanks to her honest confession and cooperation with the investigation. Chelsea, after a long period of treatment, was fortunate to survive, but the psychological consequences and betrayal from those who were once close to her left her deeply traumatized. The accident that almost took her life was a valuable lesson, exposing the true nature of fake relationships and the dark plots behind the halo. However, with her strong will, Chelsea was determined to rise from the incident, continuing to protect the achievements of her career and the reputation she had worked hard to build over the years. The incident became the focus of public opinion for a long time, proving the terrible price of jealousy, blind revenge, and ambition for power regardless of means. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel to continue updating the thrilling details, spectacular twists, and the next shocking plot from Beyond the Gates.